Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the scientific committee of the Cermak7 meeting and of the International IFLO Commission, I wish to welcome you to this meeting. This is a special occasion as it's the first time in-person event after the symposium we sponsored as IFLO Commission in 2019 in Montreal. So this meeting, I think it's a benchmark and hopefully represents the complete rebound of the scientific activities of our community. I wish to thank Sven Fuchs for the organization, but all the local organizing committee and all the staff at GFZ that put a big effort in organizing this meeting. And I also wish to thank you them for leaving me the honor of introducing the first talk of today of a scientist to whom this meeting is dedicated. I also wish to thank the IUGG for the financial support of this meeting. So I try to give you some hints about the scientific career of Vladimir Cermak. The list of papers of Vladimir is impressive, more than 300 papers and monographs. The papers cover nearly all the topics of geothermal studies, spanning from heat flow, geothermal modeling, thermophysical properties, thermostat of a lithosphere, inversion of boreal temperature data, climatic studies, and so on. What also impresses in his scientific activity is the formidable number of international collaborations with scientists of different nationalities and continents of considerable prestige, and his role and commitment with various scientific societies and organizations, as well as the national and international awards he obtained. So the activity, I would say the life of Vladimir Cermak is inextricably related, linked to that of the International IFLO Commission, in which he played a role for a total of about 30 years. As a simple member, he joined the International IFLO Commission in 1971, only 8 years after the establishment of a commission that was in 1963. He has been an officer of the commission for more than 20 years. He was vice secretary, vice president, president, and past chairman. Everything. Okay, so in the years of his commitment as an officer of the Heat Flow Commission, I guess that he designed and realized the idea of the castle meetings, of which you are here to try to renew the tradition. I will use a little bit of rhetoric for this, but I would say that as in historical times of medieval chivalry, narrated in many Romanic literature, Vladimir can be seen as a knight of a castle, the master of a castle. The knights were individuals of noble origins, adorned with their own code of honor and rules, with the task of protecting people who could take refuge within the wall of a castle. Vladimir built a castle, or indeed not one castle, but 6 castles, okay? And he opened the doors and instead closing them. And he opened the door to the entire scientific community and did its utmost to promote the circulation of ideas, culture, collaboration, and the growth of science. Okay. Many of us, how to scroll on? Sorry. To move the text. Okay, we need that. Sorry for this technical problem. Okay, may I have a mouse? I can manage it. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay. Many of us, if not all members of the heat flow community and heat flow commission have attended a council meeting at least once. The success of these meetings and the scientific message they represent has been and is still so powerful as to push the new generations of scientists to try to replicate them. So I'm again grateful to the organizer of this meeting, who can be considered the new knights of a castle, for their challenging initiative. Though the ongoing international events may partly mortify this splendid initiative, I know that the local organizing committee has been working to ensure that the echoes of this meeting can overcome all barriers, and that the science can once again defeat the myopic views of some national leaders. So I want to tell you my personal experience with the council meetings. In 1982, for the first meeting in Liblice, I was still a young student. And in 1987, for the second meeting, I was just graduated and not very focused and familiar with heat flow studies. So I missed the first two, of course. I missed also the third one in Béquinet, but I heard from a colleague of mine who was at the University of Trieste. He attended the meeting and he reported to me, oh, it was a wonderful experience, not only for the scientific point, from the scientific point of view, but also for the friendly and pleasant atmosphere that there was in the castle, and that Vladimir and collaborators created for that event. No, it was Giulio Pellis. Unfortunately, he passed away 10 years ago. So in 1990s, my experience in geothermal research was mature, and Vladimir's fame was also well known to me. I read dozens of papers by him, and they have been a constant source of inspiration for my scientific activity. I also met him, we came across him several times during the European Geophysical Society meetings, and so I knew him in person, and the curiosity and the desire to participate in a castle meeting had grown. So I didn't miss the next opportunity. I attended the TREST meeting in 1996. Sorry, probably I pronounced very badly TREST. I remember that you tried during the meeting to teach us how to pronounce TREST, but nobody succeeded in it.
Massimo, TREST means punishment.
Okay. I'm sorry to punish you. TREST. Okay. I never succeed. Okay. Anyhow, I attended the meeting. In Chest, for the first time, I met a lot of scientists, and I had the privilege and the opportunity to meet the most outstanding scientists in geothermics. And it was a unique, informal but unique opportunity, informal but of high level, scientific level for me. And it was so crucial in establishing fruitful and long-lasting cooperation and international bonds. So my family and my wife and my child at that time participated in that meeting, and they accompanied me during that meeting, and they were also enthusiastic about that. There was a very special atmosphere, friendly, and the Lord of a castle had created that splendid atmosphere. So I remember with pleasure the poster sessions. In the poster sessions we had very fruitful discussions, and the discussions were accompanied by the famous Czech beer. Okay, without taking anything away from the super German beer, of course. I didn't hide that my passion for geothermics, and also for beer, of course, came out strengthened after that meeting. So I didn't hesitate to attend the 5th meeting in Kostelec. Maybe I pronounced correctly the names this time. Okay, thank you. In 2001. And finally, I also attended the 6th meeting in Bykov. Bykov was 2006, many years ago. I was this one, with too many hairs. Okay, so I remind that my participation in this meeting was quite an adventure. I left, or indeed I would say we left, because a colleague of mine who is present in this room today, Gianluca Gola, at that time lived in Genoa and was a PhD student, and so we decided to go by car. So at that time I didn't have the GPS on my car. Okay, so before leaving, I downloaded the road map on the internet, the blue track, you see, and we went directly to Bykov. Okay. When we arrived there, after 12 hours driving, we didn't find any castle. So, oh my God. So I phoned Vladimir and I asked him, what happened? Where's the castle? And he told me, oh my God, you made a huge mistake. In the Czech Republic, there are dozens of towns that are called Bykov, and probably you are in the wrong one. Okay, fine. You also told me you didn't follow my direction. You had to find Bykov near the town of Pilsen, which is very famous as a brewer factory. Okay, so once again, beer was the key to get in the castle. The next day, finally, we arrived at the castle, and the rest of the meeting was okay, definitely better than the trip to get there. By the way, during the meeting, we visited the Pilsen beer factory, and we enjoyed the factory and, of course, the beer. Well, we are about to start the 7th meeting. That's my 4th one. However, I want also to mention other events that Vladimir organized and that facilitated the contact between young researchers, like I was, and expert scientists. I remember the pleasure, the meeting, and the workshop he organized in Prague, focused mainly on the climate change and boreal inversion for reconstruction of climate change. All these meetings greatly influenced my scientific education and interest. These workshops also allowed me and many others to know one of the most beautiful towns of Europe, full of life and culture. And I remember that during one of these workshops, it was a long time ago, I don't remember exactly when, I invited Vladimir to Italy to visit my town to return his hospitality. Vladimir has been very busy in these years. I had not the pleasure to host him so far, but as an Italian motto says, it's never too late. And while I've been waiting for his visit, I want to give him a book. That's my personal gift for him.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
My pleasure.
This is a photographic book of my town and my region, which describes my region and my town with images. And I hope that one day I will be able to guide him in my town and my region as he has done for me and for many others in these years. So hopefully in future I will have an honor to guide you. Well, I come to conclusion. Most of us have found inspiration and help in his work and initiatives. We are profoundly grateful to Vladimir for this and for spreading and sharing his ideas with transparency and loyalty. We also appreciated his kindness and style. As befits a profound person who has overcome cultural and linguistic barriers by uniting researchers all over the world in the name of science and cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense pleasure and pride that I leave the floor to the Knight of the Castles for the first talk of this 7th International Meeting of Heat Flow and the Structure of the Lithosphere. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Vladimir Cermak.